everyone. I hope you've had a great week. We're ready for our third lesson in our series. So just like the previous two times, we are going to talk about prayer. We're going to do our Bible truths. We'll do a lesson, and then I'll tell you about an activity that you can do at home, okay? So we'll start with our prayer. So we've already talked about two types of prayer. We've talked about adoration, which is I love you prayers to God. We've talked about thanksgiving, which is telling God what we're thankful for. Today we're going to talk about something called a prayer of confession, all right? And that's just a fancy way of saying to God that we're sorry for things. So when we take toys that we shouldn't take, when we lie, when we don't do what our mom and dad says, right? All of these things are things that we're not supposed to do. And they're things that make God sad, right? They're not what he wants us to do. They're not what's going to make us live a healthy and happy life, right? So we can tell him that we're sorry and he forgives us, okay? So I'm going to pray an example of an I'm sorry prayer. And you can pray with me at home. You can pray your own I'm sorry prayer. It's up to you. All right. Dear God, I just want to say that I'm sorry for when I don't put you first and when I don't honor you with my words or my actions. Please forgive me. It's in your name we pray. Amen. All right. So anytime that we do something, right, that we know is probably upsetting to God, we can always tell him that we're sorry and he always listens to us. Right? So next we have our Bible truths. All right. So I want you to think really hard. We've gone over these for 2 weeks, so I feel like you're going to start to get them. All right. First question. What's the most important book ever written? The Bible, right? What's in the Bible? God's words to us, right? Right? All of God's words in the Bible are true. And are there any mistakes in the Bible? Nope, there are no mistakes in the Bible, right? We can trust what's in the Bible. So today's lesson is about how we can know God exists because he is creator, right? He created everything. So we're going to read Genesis 1:1. That is the first verse in the first book of the Bible. That's the very beginning. So if I go to Genesis 1:1, I can read, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. That is Genesis 1:1. So who did it say was there in the beginning? God, right? It said God was there in the beginning. All right? God was there before anything or anyone else. All right? He was here before time even began because God even created time. All right? So what did it say that God did in the beginning? Do you remember? So that he created the heavens and the earth, right? He created the world and everything in it, which is amazing. And no one created God because he was already there and he has no beginning, which I know that's really hard to understand. But if you think about it, God doesn't have a birthday because he's always been there and he will always be there. And there's a fancy word for that when you have no beginning and no end, and it's eternal, okay? God is eternal, no beginning and no end, and he created everything. So if you think about things that you like, that you see outside, right? Like you might really like climbing trees, right? Who made the trees? God made the trees, right? You might have a pet that you love. Say you have a dog. You love dogs. Who created dogs? How did they get here? God created them, right? God even created the first man and woman, Adam and Eve, right? He created everything that there is. Right? When we see things like, say, or if you're sitting in a chair or on the couch, did somebody make the chair? Or did it just appear? Somebody made the chair, right? It has a creator. God gave us brains. He helped us know how to make things. But he's the one that made everything in the beginning, right? He is creator. And when we see things, we see his creation, we can know that he exists because he made everything. All right, so I'm going to show you some pictures. I want you to see if you can tell me what they are and who made them, okay? So, what do you think this is? It's lightning, right? Who made lightning? God made lightning. What's this? It's a flower, right? Who made all the flowers? God made them. I don't know if you can tell this, but do you know what this is? It's a snowflake, right? Who made snowflakes? God made them. Right? This is a picture of a rainbow. God made rainbows. The dog is really cute. And God made dogs. He made cats. He made bumblebees. God made everything. Plants, animals, everything that we have to see, right? We're going to look at our flip chart for this lesson today. All right. So we know God exists through his creation and the Bible, right? So if you look at this picture, see if you can spot things that God made. I see a seagull here, and God made that. I see sand, the sun, the sky, and the clouds. Everything there is to see in this picture, we know God made, right? He's eternal. He has no beginning and no end, and he's creator, right? All right, so that's what we were going to learn from our lesson this week, is that who made everything? God made everything. And we know God made everything because he's the only one who could, because he has no beginning and no end. And do you remember what the word for that is? Eternal. He is eternal. Great job. All right, so what your activity can be for today is to go outside and see how many things that you can find that God made. All right, I will see you next week. Have a good week. Bye.